Hello, I'm here on Church Street on this very busy, loud, noisy Friday afternoon. There's political activists, buskers, violinists. It's a really busy, loud, exciting day here on Church Street. What I want to say today, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The new arrivals and their allies, that's the councillors, MPs, Liam Thorpe, the Liverpool Echo, super Scousers like Ricky Tomlinson and various other bodies and agencies, no doubt. The new arrivals and their allies, they are winning the battle to culturally transform our glorious city. That's why it's important, especially the forthcoming general election, we find candidates who are opposed to further cultural change of our glorious city, because that's the only way we're going to change things, ladies and gentlemen, by voting those out who are aiding and abetting, or at least remaining silent regarding the cultural change of our glorious city. It's important because, like I've said, the new arrivals with their allies, councillors, MPs, Liam Thorpe, the Liverpool Echo, many other agencies and bodies, and super Scousers like Ricky Tomlinson, they've got an awful lot on their side, pushing their agenda, which is to allow the cultural change, transformation of our glorious city into a Saint-Denis type environment that we now see developing in Kensington and Fairfield. Kensington and Fairfield, folks, is a typical example of the consequences of cultural change, right? That is a typical example if one was ever needed. Do we want the rest of our city looking like that? Well, certainly not. So the new arrivals and all their allies, they're winning the battle at the moment to culturally transform our glorious city. Our unique Scouse character, traditions and culture is at stake here, ladies and gentlemen. Like I've said, once it's changed, there's no changing it back. It's gone forever. No more Cockney sparrows fly over London anymore. That cannot be changed back to a Cockney city. It is gone. Yeah, like I've said before, Buckingham Palace and Big Ben are still there, Nat Showered in the Houses of Parliament. They're all still there. But it's not London in the true sense of the word, and the same will happen to our glorious city if we don't stop what is happening. We do this by voting for candidates opposed to further cultural change of our glorious city, right? We have to find candidates. Who they are, I don't know at the moment. We'll have to see come the general election, whenever that is. It's sometime next year, I believe, right? Because at the moment, like I've said, the new arrivals and all their allies, they're winning the battle to culturally transform our city. And when I put it like that, it's quite a daunting and mammoth task that awaits us, but it's one we have to undertake, because the alternative is we lose our Liverpool. It changes, right? It changes like London, Birmingham, some of the Lancashire, Yorkshire towns have changed, where they no longer are what they originally were. They're the places that are now being completely culturally changed. Do we want this to happen to our glorious Liverpool? No, we don't. The inheritance we're safeguarding is for our children and grandchildren, and no one else, ladies and gentlemen. It's not for the new arrivals to pass our inheritance down to their children and grandchildren. It is our legacy to pass down and no one else's. I wouldn't be down here if I believed this wasn't of the utmost urgency what is happening to our city, right? We can't wait for Liam Thorpe of the Liverpool Echo. He's not going to discuss it. The politicians aren't going to discuss it. Super Scousers are on the side of the new arrivals, as well as many other governing bodies and agencies and whatever. So they have a lot of friends, powerful friends, the new arrivals. Who's in the corner of the good people of Liverpool? Well, you've got Joe Owens for a start. Let's try and get a few more. Let's get a few more people. We need prominent people to speak out as to what is happening to our glorious city, right? And Joe Owens' solution, no one can better it, no one can argue against it that it's wrong. My solution is this: the new arrivals that have made Liverpool their home, God bless you all, now come and embrace the Scouse fam. Those new arrivals who believe Liverpool can't accommodate their needs, I suggest you go and find another town or city, right, to go and live in. And then what's got to happen? We've got to close the door on any more new arrivals being dispersed in our glorious city. Now, I'm not on about individual families and children fleeing war and terror. I'm not on about individuals. I'm on about large numbers, and that's what's happening, right? It's not about Joe Owens picking on children or women or refugees that are genuine refugees in the true sense of the word, right? This is about stopping large numbers of new arrivals being dispersed in our glorious city. It's not against individual families who are fleeing terror and war, by all means, but that's not what's happening, is it? Those in Kensington and Fairfield most certainly aren't fleeing war and terror or whatever, right? I drove into town today, up Breck Road, and it's changing more and more. Every time I visit that part of Anfield, it's changing. It's culturally changing more and more. And like I've said on a final note, because I'm going to get some hot Scouse down me, it really is cold, right? On a final note, the new arrivals have all their allies, powerful allies as well, in their corner, pushing the agenda of cultural transformation of our glorious city. Who's in the corner of the good people of Liverpool? Well, you've got me for one, right? So let's start from there, because we have to. We have to start, even if it seems an unsurmountable task, right? Even if it's daunting. I know, I understand, but it has to be done. We've got to vote them out. You can march, demo, sign petitions, and even burn your city down. It's not going to change anything. You have to vote them out. And we do that, ladies and gentlemen, at election time. The general election that's coming up next year, we've got to vote for candidates opposed to cultural change of our glorious city, or we're going to lose it. We're going to lose our unique Scouse character, traditions and culture. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I may make another video later, we shall see, but it's really cold. Don't forget, wrap up when you're coming out. Okay, thank you.
I am Ricky Tomlinson. In Calais and the UK right now, refugees are facing freezing weather without so much as a coat. Can you believe it that it's 2023 and men, women and little kids are still living in appalling conditions in Calais? It's just them against the wind, the rain and the mud. We've got families huddled together in flimsy tents and people sheltering under bridges, trying to find any sort of respite from the harsh winter. Can you imagine the misery of spending day after day after day in soaking wet clothes in these temperatures? And in the UK, refugees who have come here to be safe are left standing in just the clothes they arrive in. The government is now warehousing refugees in a run-down old military barracks in Wethersfield. They're stuck there with little to nothing, preparing to sit out the British winter without the suitable clothing you and I take for granted. It's not on. And Care for Calais needs you and your help, and me, to fix it. Please donate a coat or a few quid to the Coats for Calais appeal. Come on, I'm sure you've got something hanging in your wardrobe that doesn't fit you anymore. You know, after eating too many bloody pies. And as my mate Jim would say, don't be a lazy ass. Donate a coat. Look, please click on the link to see how you can help. Thank you very much. Cheers, folks.
What do you think about the narrative at the moment to people crossing the channel? How do you think that we should be tackling the small boats crisis?
I'm quite simple. Refugees welcome.